I combined two of the hardest Pokemon challenges together. No damage and one Pokemon. I can only save once after each gym. I started out and chose Cyndaquil as my starter. I was debating Totodile because of his typing, but Cyndaquil's moveset is just much stronger, and a lot of the gyms in this game are susceptible to fire type. Having done this, I stepped into the game. Now luckily, in Heart Gold, there's no beginning rival fight, but the first gym is not easy, and I needed a way to level up. On this first route, it was impossible, trust me. I tried, but if I were to go into the town, then head north, I would reach this route with 3 different encounters: Pidgey, Caterpie, and Metapod. You see where I'm going here? Metapod only knows Harden, meaning I could level up indefinitely. But once I got to level 10, Ember could also one-shot Caterpie. I did this for a while, not knowing what level I needed to be, until this one person in chat, Nate, gave me clutch. Essentially, assuming that I had the worst possible stats, and Falkner's Pokemon had the best possible stats, I needed to hit level 34. I knew my stats weren't that bad, and Falkner's aren't that good, so I hit level 28, and after almost 3 hours of grinding with a few dumb resets, I headed into the first gym. Everything leading up to this moment. 2 hours and 52 minutes of grinding. That's Pidgey done. That's Pidgey done. Pidgeotto coming out. It's the defining moment. It's gonna be crazy. Now I don't even know. Okay, that's the first gym done, but this second one was definitely a bigger challenge because of one Pokemon. Now I was high level enough to beat Team Rocket, but this Scizor had Quick Attack, which is priority. Speed doesn't matter against priority. Unless you both use an attack of the same priority, the one with higher priority goes first, always. Now we both had Quick Attack, and I went first, but as you can see, my damage was nowhere near where it needed to be. So here I was left with 2 options: reset a bunch of times until he doesn't use Quick Attack, or level up until I nearly double my damage. I went with the luck based option, and after a few attempts, crashed through this gym with an Ember Massacre. And as I headed into the third gym at Goldenrod City, this turned into less of a mindless grind fest because I had the daycare. Now getting to the daycare itself was a lot harder than it needed to be. For starters, I need to catch Rattata for cut. This alone was hard. I had one try with 1 Pokeball. Normally I could head straight to the daycare and be fine, but apparently in Heart Gold it'll be too weak left with 1 Pokemon. Simple though, just catch a Metapod for the second, which is what I tried to do until I saw the only screen I was truly terrified of ever seeing. I would have to reset and catch Metapod in the forest before I got to Goldenrod. Now this fixed everything, but finally I was here at Whitney's gym, level 64, and I had tailored my moveset to be as powerful as possible. I still used Eruption though, she could not outspeed. I'm still gonna be nervous. Okay, I used Eruption. 1 shot, come on. Let's go. Same thing. That's it. Whitney is done. The next gym was located in Ecruteak City. I picked up my spray bottle, fought this double battle individually, and did an easy rival fight before I stepped into the ghost type gym. Confident. After all, I was high level and no one knew Quick Attack. It was going well for the first few trainers until this Haunter used Sucker Punch, a priority move. Now the solution seemed obvious. Outspeed with Quick Attack, but Haunter's immune and I didn't have any other priority moves. Sucker Punch does have one condition though. It only hits you if you use an attacking move. I really tried to take advantage of this for a while, but then he might just use a different attack. Looking past this though, Protect would work as a universally applicable solution. Only thing I had to worry about was it failing. Now the first attack this Haunter used was always Sucker Punch, so I threw a Pokeball here and didn't take damage, so I didn't waste a Protect. From here, I used Protect 4 times in a row. The Sucker Punch ran out of PP and I got the kill. None of the other trainers knew Sucker Punch, but the gym leader had 2 Pokemon with it, and I couldn't count on luck this time. Ghastly doesn't know anything. That's an easy 1 shot. Okay, Gengar does know stuff. Protect? Damn, that would've worked. It's a gamble. Okay. Haunter. Now it's the next Haunter that actually knows stuff. My guess is that it won't use it first. It's impossible to know if he's gonna use Sucker Punch as his next move. Okay, I think statistically, we have better chances if we use Eruption here. Let's go. That means we win. Essentially, the way I predicted this was simple. Basically, the Pokemon will always choose whatever it thinks the best move is. At the beginning of the fights, that's usually when you use buffs, which may be defense. I assumed my opponent would want to land a fast attack before this, which is why I used Protect. Next up, the game gave me freedom to do the next 3 gyms in any order I want, and clearly I could not handle it. And let me start out by saying that you need Surf for all 3 of these. And catching a water Pokemon is way too hard in this game. I ended up going all the way back to Olivine City, getting the Ultra and taking this RNG risk just trying to catch a water Pokemon. At first, I was trying the Mahogany Town gym, just looked the easiest. But here I had to do all this stuff with Lance and Team Rocket, and I just didn't feel like it. Next up, I tried Signwood. We died here, and honestly, I just wanted to beat a gym, get a save, and never have to worry about getting served again. So after far too long, I went to the Olivine City gym, and once again, one-shot everything with Eruption. From here, my sights were back on the Mahogany Gym. This required doing the whole Team Rocket headquarters first. Now this part is long, but I wouldn't really die in it, or that's what I thought, until Quick Attack did an OKO for level 22 coughing. The reset was tragic, but I would get it the next time, right? Well, the chances were looking good as I beat the final boss until I got scared by this double battle. The perfect chance for me to die. But you know what? Eruption attacks both enemies at once, making this whole boss easy. And all I had to do was just defeat a few electrodes to finish up this whole HQ. Now I one-shot the first level 23 electrode, and then on the second level 23 electrode. Keep in mind, the same Pokemon. I didn't, and I died. Got this far just to die here, man. Unbelievable. But hey, the next try, I was good, and I was able to head into the gym. This was no easier though, and didn't even seem like the gym was the hard part. I approached this trainer, and found out Dugong knows Ice Shard, a priority move, and I just was not at the level to be one-shotting with Quick Attack. Doesn't matter though, it's a skippable fight, so on my second try here, I took an alternate route, and had the same thing happen here. Next try, I died too. What's good though is that all these trainers are skippable aside from this one right here. But he honestly doesn't use his own priority moves very often, so it wasn't too bad. But the problem is, well, this guy is skippable. That's a little past my skill level in the game. It's not one of those trainers who turns around fairly. No, they turned you exactly as you walk by. You know what I'm talking about too, don't act like you don't. I was taking L after L here, and I'd done this Team Rocket hideout like 10 times. Eventually, I got a lucky run where no one used Ice Shard, which is priority. I did have to utilize my Protect Strat though. Finally though, I stepped into the fight with the man who wasted so much of my time. Thankfully, it seemed like the devs were following the trend of not giving gym leaders too many priority moves. It's Tom. It doesn't know Ice Shard. Pillow Swan. Icy Wind. Fury Attack. Mist and Blizzard. Right? What are the priority attacks? None of those. Bam! We did it. Dugong also went well, and I was done with his gym on the first try. Next up, I headed back to Signwood. Now the only real threat here was Hitmonlee, who knew Bullet Punch, the priority move that killed me the first time. But here, it didn't even use it. Honestly, made this gym pretty easy. Nothing else to say on it. 8th gym required a little prep, going through this Team Rocket hideout, fighting my rival, and the final boss. From here, I had to complete the ice path, but luckily, I beat every trainer first try and hopped into the fight. Kill, please. It's level 38. Yeah, it's like half my level. It's a 150 base damage move, but it's not effective. Look, this was tragic, and I was sad about the reset, but there's one more reason that in this moment, I was even more terrified. Now look, Gyarados looks to have about 1 HP. Now what are the chances of that? Pretty low. So for a second, I thought that he might have Sturdy, an ability that allows a Pokemon to tank any move with 1 HP left. But luckily, he had Intimidate instead, which doesn't really matter. So I really just needed to grind like 2 or 3 levels in the daycare to be powerful enough. And this time, I got through to the gym right here until a sign came that I should quit this challenge. My game crashed. It's tragic, but I did everything over again and finally had my rematch against this Gyarados, and the beef was real. To be Claire's Gyarados, we'll see. Let's see. He got to in the red last time. Can he go in the gray? Or like the no health? Let's go. Okay. Hey, that's the hard part. Hopefully. Now, what level is it? 41. Now, that's 6 levels above what we fought before. But does it kill? That's the real question. I'm thinking it does. Okay, now you got me wondering. Okay, it's a Dragonair, so its level can't be that crazy. 38. Yeah, we got this. I think I've done this before, actually. Come on. I know that can do it. In the red. In the dead. With just 4 extra levels, I was done with this gym. And I hate to say it, but this is when the challenge got hard. Now, I was allowing to save right before the Elite Four, but this meant I had a few things on the way. 1. All 5 of the Kimono girls. 2. Going to Victory Road and fighting all of the trainers. And 3. My final rival fight. My first decision was whether I should level up now or later, and I decided that it was worth waiting until the Elite Four. I was weaker for the fights, but a reset if I did level up would be way too punishing. I stepped into the fight with the Kimono girls, and they were much harder than I thought. Both Flareon and Vaporeon had Quick Attack, and they would use it, trust me. For my first few attempts, there was only little knowledge I gained. 1. Jolteon would almost always use Quick Attack second. Flareon was a lot less consistent, but he would always use it first or second, leaving me with a 50-50 every run. Although I was okay with, but the final thing I learned was that Flareon was immune to fire. Now this was the problem. I really didn't have any other powerful moves. At first, I tried to get Solar Beam. I could avoid the charging turn with this Power Leaf thing, and somehow Typhlosion could learn it. I went into the fight against Flareon, and my dumbass forgot that grass was weak against fire. Back to the drawing board. I scrolled through Typhlosion's character page until one powerful move popped out to me. Hyper Beam. Its one drawback is a recharge turn. This doesn't matter though, because the Kimono Girls are 5 separate fights. I went in, and all it took was a few tries to get this strat down. Goodbye, Flareon. I hope to never see you again. So finally, after 3 hours and 20 minutes of strategizing, I was ready for part 2. Ho-Oh. I began to head up, and after a long puzzle, reached him. Now my original plan was to catch him with the Master Ball to avoid any chance of dying. But then I realized, I might want to keep my Master Ball. That way I can catch a Pokemon that can learn Waterfall for Victory Road. So I attacked. And man, I gotta quit this challenge. But I didn't, and redid the whole Kimono Girl thing, which took a while by the way. I got this Ho-Oh with my Master Ball. Now at this point, I was in constant fear of death. If I die here, it's a long way back. On my way to Victory Road, I ran into this mandatory trainer, and this Flaffy did me unbelievably dirty. I don't think I could genuinely describe the amount of fear I felt here. The chance of losing hours because of some meaningless trainer battle. But you best believe I went straight back to that healer. But here, I was at the rival fight. I had already looked through the moveset. Gengar did not know Sucker Punch, so there was really only 2 Pokemon I was worried about. Feraligatr and Sneasel. Feraligatr was simple. I did not know if I dealt enough damage to one-shot. And of course, Sneasel with Quick Attack. And here, the risks were high. 3 hours and 45 minutes. For this moment. And he's gone. He's leaving. Believe me, Sneasel, we have to. That literally means we win, I think. Unless it doesn't kill. Feraligatr. Not a shot, dude. Oh, what if I don't one-shot this? Please, kill. Oh no, it's not going to. It's not going to. Oh, when I think about it, this is not gonna kill. Let's go! Let's go! Oh my god, I love this game with all my heart. Greatest game. From here, there was no risk, and I was finally at the Elite Four. And yes, I allowed myself to save, so I can do all the prep I want. No save scumming though, none of that here. Now when I say prep, I mean spending hours getting myself to level 100. So once that was done, we were ready to begin. I'm gonna just be honest here. The first 2 fights were just an eruption massacre. But the third fight is where there was a real problem. This Hitmonlee top knew Quick Attack, and I tried Protect my first time, and this man used Dig. My Protect failed next turn, so it was over. I noticed though that he was gonna lead with Dig every time, so I decided to use Eruption first, and I could outspeed. This fight was light work. Now the 4th fight though, I promise, is good. So Houndoom is immune to fire, and Quick Attack is just not powerful enough. I really didn't see a viable solution to killing him, and I just did not feel like getting a new TM. So I thought about this for a while, and Gengar, the next Pokemon, always led in with Spite. Now why does this matter, you say? Well, Spite actually does exactly 0 damage, meaning I could use Hyper Beam on Houndoom and recharge the next turn, and the rest of the fight was simple from here. So here I am, one final wall ahead of me, the champion. First up, I was terrified of this Gyarados. I never recovered from this. But luckily, we one-shot. Same with Aerodactyl. And then Dragonite came out. Now I'ma just let this speak for itself. And as you can see by my level, my room for improvement is limited. Now I was thinking, what's the best solution I got here? Since Hyper Beam only works on the last Pokemon, I thought about getting Solar Beam and using the Flareon strat where I avoid the charge turn. But there were 3 Dragonite, and that leaves 1 unaccounted for. So I thought a little harder. I just needed a tiny bit more damage. And then the idea of held items came into my head. I was already holding a Calcium to raise my special attack, but I realized it might work better to hold Charcoal, which specifically raises fire type damage. So I went to get one and 2-shot the first 2 Dragonite, but as the 3rd one came in, I noticed something. There was still another Pokeball symbol in here. Now I didn't know this, so I took out the last Dragonite, wondering what this thing was. And damn, I'm glad that's the last Pokemon. If the Charizard knows Quick Attack, it's over. But frankly, I'm not gonna check, since if it does, I'm dead either way. Or it's just a bet of me using Protect. That's the win. But if this kills, which it will, man, I just beat Pokémon Heart Gold without taking damage with 1 Pokemon. Of course, my Hall of Fame was just Typhlosion, and I did not need the heal that Lance gave to me. Thanks for watching though, but yeah, go watch this.